clerk please call the roll? Here. Here. Thank you. Ordinance number 40-2025 by Councilmember Starr, Bishop Harrison, and Griffin by Department of Request, an emergency ordinance authorizing the directors of Public Works and Economic Development to enter into a ground lease with Rust Belt Riders Compost LLC for the use and occupancy property located at 3270 East 79th to consolidate its composting facility operations and to install a retail operation at the location for a period of 10 years with 2 10-year options to renew, exercisable by directors of Public Works and Economic Development. All right, good morning, Assistant Director, team, and I'm sorry, give me your name again, Natalie. Thank you for being here again. I know we received this presentation at Municipal Services and Properties. Councilman Starr did indicate that he is supportive of the project. And we all know Rust Belt Riders.
Awesome.
Thank you.
See if I can get this on. There we go. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, so you know Rust Belt Riders. We're here today with Natalie Longa, the CFO, and John Fassbender, who's been working on this project, and I will pass it over to him.
Thank you, Assistant Director, and thank you to the chair and the council members for listening to us this morning.
Yes.
I'm going to introduce Natalie. She's got the presentation, but I do want to say that this is, from our standpoint, an important and significant project for 2 reasons. Number one, it improves how Rust Belt Riders, which actually delivers an important infrastructure service to the city and the surrounding area for doing composting food waste. And secondly, it takes a long vacant 6-acre parcel, city-owned 6-acre parcel, and puts it back into productive use. So with that, I'll hand it over to Natalie, and she'll lead the presentation.
Thanks, John. I am Natalie Longa, the CFO and a worker owner of Rust Belt Riders. We are a commercial composter and soil producer. That means we collect food scraps from people, businesses, and hospitals and schools and produce compost. We currently have a problem. Our infrastructure is wasteful and expensive. We move material or product 171 miles. We incurred in 2024 $158,000 of tipping expense. We hauled almost 3,400 tons of food waste and sold 3,100 yards of soil that we produced with this wasteful and expensive infrastructure. Our proposed solution can take our current gross margin from an average of 27% to an anticipated gross margin of almost 42%. The solution is to consolidate our widely distributed operations to one central location, creating significant efficiency and activating that unutilized city asset like John mentioned. We would bring manufacturing of compost back in-house to RBR, significantly reducing costs, adding control. This location and solution is the East 79th location that I will be showing you in a moment. It's located less than 1 mile from Riddle and is also near the urban agricultural zone, positioning us to continue to strengthen our key partnerships. We would also be able to have all of our vehicles securely parked. We couldn't do this without our amazing people. We've grown from 4 full-time employees to over 30 right now. We boast a starting hourly rate of $20 an hour. Every employee is eligible for worker ownership. Full-time benefits are eligible once an employee works 30 hours a week, and we are proud to be a workplace democracy. This is the image of the parcel, 6 acres on East 79th between Bessemer and Kinsman. The next slide will show us a little bit more zoomed in on that. We would have a state-of-the-art composting facility and soil production. We anticipate being able to haul more than 30% more food scraps. We would reduce our tipping expense by 48% and be able to sell more than 20% more soil by consolidating our operations to this location. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Fassbender, what's set on this lot before it became vacant?
It has been vacant for a few decades right by
A long
now.
time.
But before, it was a transfer station that was utilized by Public Works.
Okay. All right, and this is, you said 79th, as you get between Kinsman and
Bessemer.
and
Yep.
Bessemer there?
There's that map. Look,
Yeah, okay.
you again.
All right, sounds good. Any questions from the committee? All right, Senator, yes.
Mr. Chair, just a comment that this sounds like an outstanding project. Really exciting.
Absolutely.
I have one question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Through the Chair. We're considering a lease, right?
Yes.
And what is the length of the lease?
It's a ground lease that has a 10-year initial term and 2 10-year terms renewable.
Okay. Mr. Chair, my only question, and I support your work, obviously, it's good stuff. But my only question is, I have this problem in Old Brooklyn where we leased out to somebody who's now subleasing, and the subleasee has become a major problem. And I can't get in the chain because of the lease conditions. So through the chair, do we have any conditions on subleasing this land after the lease is confirmed?
We have we're still negotiating the ground lease, but we do have agreed to a letter of intent.
To what?
And a letter of intent. And with the terms include a few things that I think will address that. Number one, there is no subleasing without the written advance approval of the city. They don't have a right to sublease.
Okay, and through the chair, who approves from the city side?
That would be the Economic Development Director or the Public Works Director. We're managing the project, but it is Public Works property.
Okay, go on.
Secondly, if the lessee stops doing what it promised to do on the site, that gives us the right to terminate the lease and to retake possession. And we would need to, there's provisions that we would reimburse them for improvements, but they would become the city's improvements.
Okay. I apologize for interjecting this because it's a problem that I'm dealing with, that I'm trying to think about long-term leases that the city has and ways to prevent those problems from popping up in other places. So through the chair, or perhaps to the chair, I'm not sure, is it possible to put in this that the Director of Economic Development can only approve a sublease with council approval?
We can. What I would like to do is chat with Councilman Starr. Since this is his
Ultimately,
piece of his award, yeah.
right.
And we can do that before finance. But
Okay.
I agree with you. I think that it's something like that should read in the lease, because I also had the same situation in my neighborhood before, that somebody thought nobody was paying attention, and nobody was, and they went out and started using the lot for something else, and it just became a mess, right? Not saying that that's the situation here.
Right,
and,
right,
this has
right.
nothing to do with Rust Belt Riders.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean, you guys
no,
are
I
cool.
get it.
You're doing your
But
thing.
Once
Right.
you experience it, you will have to make sure that you
Absolutely.
prevent it
So
going forward.
I'll chat
yeah.
with Councilman Starr, and I'll talk with him about it.
Yeah.
And before finance, and we
Okay.
can address that
That-
situation.
Thank you, Chairman.
will
That'd
address
be
the situation.
that'd be my only. Rust Belt's great. Y'all are wonderful.
Right,
Appreciate
right.
what
It's
you do.
just that
It's all
lease
good stuff.
language, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and 10 years is a long time. 20
Right.
years is even longer, and 30 years, next generation. So maybe just put that in there when we get the finance.
If I may add one other thing, because it's not normal that we do long-term leases, but under this circumstance, Rust Belt Riders determined that if they were able to lease the property rather than buy it, it would open up additional sources of funding, because they're operating on a municipally owned property.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's for the improvements and things like
exactly
that.
right,
They can get some really significant funding to help them
Oh,
get started. So that's,
Absolutely. I'm all for it. Again, what you're doing is wonderful, and I wish you all the best.
and we're thinking hard about ground leases, because we think it might be a fruitful way to use city-owned property and not completely cede ownership.
Right,
And so
right.
you're asking exactly the right questions
Yeah.
about what happens if.
Right.
And
So if we
we're
put
trying
that
to
in
make them
finance.
pretty tight.
Great.
Got
Thank you,
it.
Chair.
Thank you. Any further questions? All right, seeing no further questions, ordinance number 40-2025 stands approved. All right, thank you. We'll see you at finance. So I'll have that conversation with Councilman Starr, and we'll figure out the language. We'll let you know.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, ordinance number 231-2025 by Councilmembers Starr, Harrison, and Griffin by departmental request, an emergency ordinance authorizing Director of Community Development to transfer several permanent parcels located in the vicinity of East 75th Street and Grand Avenue to the control, possession, and use of the Department of Economic Development for inclusion into a consolidated site to be used for future redevelopment. Thank you. Director?
Thank you, Chair. In the same vein, I'm here with Trudy and with John, and I will pass it over to them to talk about this transfer.
Thank you, Acting Director. This is, you may recall this particular site, and we'll get a map in a second, as what was going to be the police headquarters on Opportunity Corridor. It's at East 75th and Grand, and when that we changed course on that project, we availed this site for job-creating industrial development. It's a well-located site. It's an important site, and right now, in fact, the department is engaged in negotiations with a potential developer. This parcel would be involved in a transaction that would involve both this developer and Sites Fund at another location, and we would, in order to complete that transaction, we need to complete this consolidation of the site, and these obviously are city-owned parcels, but getting them all under the economic development's jurisdiction will help us to, facilitate that going forward. There's a map of where it is on the site. You can see the Opportunity Corridor. The little yellow triangle-shaped thing is where the site is. And here's a map of the parcels. These are all in the CD Land Bank. The remainder of the parcels are either owned by the city under economic development jurisdiction in the Industrial Commercial Land Bank, but there are 5 parcels, and we're actively working with the Ohio Department of Transportation that ODOT still owns, but we are working to acquire in relatively short order. They've already gotten the right-of-way surveyed and recorded, so that moves the process forward a lot more quickly. Any questions? Oh, Trudy, I'm sorry. The other, the donor, yeah. The
That's okay.
grantor.
Good morning, Council Chair and Council Committee. My name is Trudy Andoreski. I'm here on behalf of the Department of Community Development's Neighborhood Revitalization Bureau, which includes the Land Bank. I just wanted to make the statement that we are in full support of this legislation. In our work with developers, obviously getting all property under one site control really eases the process of development. So we're glad to be able to support that strategic site assembly, particularly for industrial development along Opportunity Corridor.
Gotcha. And I did not hear from Councilman Starr about this particular piece. Where's Councilman Starr on this 231?
It has a single button, and it's confusing for me. But the Councilman Starr supports this. We had a discussion with him about how this development will be pursued along the Opportunity Corridor. We had a meeting, a sort of an all-hands meeting with Councilman Starr.
Okay. All right. We'll go to the committee for questions. Any questions from the committee? All right. And the blue parcels are the parcels we're transferring, correct?
That's correct, yes, sir.
And the parcels outlined in red are those owned by?
The ones outlined in red are actually rights of way that we're in the
Rights of way,
process of
okay.
vacating.
All right. And I see like some parcels in between the blues that has no shading. Are those the ODOT parcels?
The ODOT parcels, I can walk you through them. There's the one all the way to the left is an ODOT, I can't really read those. The one next to it is
Like the
actually...
big grass area?
Yeah, all the way to the left. And then the one next to it that has the blue, it's like a U shape, that's actually owned by the city. The little rectangle adjacent to Opportunity Corridor is a parcel that's owned by ODOT. The next parcel that's going to rectangular is owned by ODOT, and there's two L-shaped parcels that are also ODOT's, and the final one, the large one on the right, is ODOT. So it's mostly the ones that are directly adjacent to Opportunity Corridor that they had acquired in the process of that development.
Gotcha. And Grant Avenue, is it the thought to vacate that Grant Avenue street?
No, not right now, because underlying Grand Avenue is well, two reasons. The one, underlying Grand Avenue is a major Norsid sewer line that would have to be removed, which would be very expensive. And number two, Grand Avenue, it's out off this map, but Grand Avenue is actually the route that RTA takes to go down to its...
extend,
Yeah.
okay.
So,
Got it. Yeah, I know where it is. It kind of flows from, what is that, 55th down, Grand, and it comes back down around, and it, to where they
Yep.
did the work and
Yep.
all of that. Okay. All right, that's what I was curious about, whether that was going to be vacated, 'cause
No, I
there's
think-
there's a lot of movement there.
I think that when MOCAP was looking at this for the police headquarters, they were talking about something along the lines of a $10 million road relocation cost, which that's pretty hefty.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
and what we've learned is that we have companies that are interested in the north and south portions of this that are divided by Grand Avenue independently. They're, not everyone's looking for 50 acres, but if they can get, 5 or 10 acres along an important, industrial corridor,
Sure.
that's a good deal.
All right, sounds good. And it looks like we have an amendment in here. In Section 1, Line 8, after redevelopment insert with the restriction that the Department of Economic Development shall cause any future grantee to reimburse the Department of Public Safety for expenses for site remediation in the amount of $536,542.09 as a condition precedent to any conveyance. Will you walk me through this amendment? Somebody?
The MOCAP, when managing the site assembly for the police headquarters, did a few things. They did some site work, and they acquired a couple of parcels from Orlando to assemble the site further. And that was what, they were using capital dollars, and that was what needs to be reimbursed. In our discussions with the developer, that is part of the, that amount will be reimbursed directly to MOCAP as a result of this transaction. That's contemplated in this whole transaction so that they're reimbursed and they're made whole.
Okay, so when we bought these and acquired these for the police headquarters, why would was there always expectation for, because if we were buying it for us to build for us, was there going to be another internal department was going to reimburse MOCAP for acquiring those properties?
I don't know about that, but I do know that those funds cannot be used for anything but, can't be used for anything but public purpose. So we have to reimburse, and the expert is here.
Okay. Director, can you walk me through this and why the need for, explain this to me.
Sure thing. So, Mr. Chairman, the MOCAP was leading the project for the Department of Public Safety, and the city sold facility bonds to build the police headquarters, which included the site work and the acquisition of land that John referenced. And so the dollar amount that's in the amendment is the amount of money that was spent from facility bonds to prepare the site for the police headquarters. So as the site gets sold to a third party, those facility bonds, the value of the facility bonds that were invested in this site needs to be reimbursed. It's actually not coming to MOCAP, it's going to public safety, and it'll be in the police headquarters project, the current police headquarters project. So while the design on this site was, sort of a lost expense, the site work is something that can be recouped from the future purchaser of the site and put back into the current police headquarters site that is being built on Superior Avenue.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Is there any questions from the committee? Yes, Councilman.
Through the chair, is this 536,000 back to MOCAP, is that in exchange for a conveyance fee? I mean, when this land is transferred next, is somebody going to pay for it as well, or just cover that? Is this in exchange for the price tag?
It's, yes, in a sense. This is what is contemplated now is this parcel being used as a swap that the Sites Fund is looking to acquire to expand one of their own properties. And the owner of that adjacent property that the Site Funds want is interested in this property.
Would the site fund reimburse the city?
It will be, yeah, absolutely. It is part and parcel of this transaction. It's going to be a three-party agreement, so that, the amount that's specified in this bill will be is what's going to be reimbursed to the public safety as a result of this.
Okay.
Yeah, it feels like we're paying ourselves.
That's why.
It feels like we're paying ourselves back, which, I mean, if the lawyers say it's all good and legal, the site fund is, running on ARPA money.
So through the chairman, the councilman, the crux of it, though, is that bonds need to be used for the purpose that they're sold for. And so if this site is going to be repurposed as land assembly, economic development, a future purchaser that's not a city use, then somehow the city needs to
Use bond funds.
exactly
Recoup the expense.
exactly. So it doesn't have to come out of the sale price, but that's the best way to structure it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I didn't realize
Okay.
Did you say that earlier? Bond funds? Did you use bond funds for this?
Yes, so
right.
public safety comes under facility bonds.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
All right.
Yep.
Got you now. Okay. I will give it to one of you to read the amendment. And our next board meeting, I'll dig into it a little bit, the Sites Fund. Charlie, make sure, Mr. Councilman's life, I'm sorry. Just keep that on the forefront of your mind so we can ask that question at Sites Fund. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Was this amendment included in the original legislation, do you know, to our Assistant Law Director
That is the only
through
one.
the Chair?
Yeah. Well, no.
But I guess the question is, do we need to move on it, or was it included in the original?
I don't know. Open it up. No, the ordinance, the yellow piece. Is it there? No.
No, all right, I'll read it in. Never hurts anyway. All right, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move to amend ordinance 231, 2025.
Yes, Councilman.
The amendment is as follows. In Section 1, Line 8, after redevelopment, insert with the restriction that the Department of Economic Development shall cause any future grantee to reimburse the Department of Public Safety for expenses for site remediation in the amount of $536,542.09 as a condition precedent to any conveyance. Does our Assistant Law Director, Mr. Chairman, have that?
You have that? All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Is there a second? Second. Thank you, Councilman. Is there any discussion? All in favor? All
Aye.
opposed? All right, ayes have it. Thank you. All right. Thank you all.
you.
Ordinance number 231 as amended, 231-2025 as amended stands approved. Thank you. Come on back, Director. 89, 99, 300.
So we're going to consider the issue with the formulation of the site, just so you know, because we have a site bonds were spent on forward.
All right, you ready? Resolution number 298-2025 by Councilmember Starr, Bishop, and Hairston by departmental request an emergency ordinance declaring the intent to vacate a portion of East 70th Street. This has been heard and been passed by municipal service properties. This is not new to us. Thank you, Director.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, so these first three resolutions all relate to what Mr. Fossbender presented to you, the map that he had up there with the blue and the red sites. So the first one is intent to vacate a portion of East 70th Street. Intent to vacate is a resolution. That's the first of three steps of a street vacation process. And so the purpose is for economic development to have the streets vacated for land assembly. And this piece of East 70th Street is off of Grand Avenue, north of Grand Avenue, dead ending, near the railroad tracks.
Okay. That map you have, did you attach that to the executive summary?
Everyone should have the map with your executive summary.
You don't have it?
You don't know. And I can point out.
Oh, that one there, okay.
Yeah, that's East 70th Street. It's kind of dead ends near the railroad tracks. It's off of Grand Avenue.
Gotcha. Okay. Any questions regarding Resolution 298-2025? Seeing no questions, Resolution 298-2025 stands approved. Resolution 299-2025 by Councilmember Starr, Bishop, and Harrison by departmental request, an emergency resolution declaring the intent to vacate a portion of East 71st Place. You want to point to East 71st Place on the map?
Yes, sir. So East 71st Street is between Opportunity Corridor and Grand Avenue. And it is this portion right here between Opportunity Corridor and Grand Avenue.
Okay. And that causes no restrictions to get out. Does that already lead out to Opportunity Corridor, or is it already kind of landlocked?
Mr. Chairman, so it's just what we, I mean, there's sort of some asphalt down there somewhere, but it's been abandoned and vacant for quite some time.
So nobody drives to there?
Yeah,
legally?
and there's no curb cut onto Opportunity Corridor. When ODOT went through there, they
Ran a curve?
they ran a curb in the sidewalks, and you have to go off of the major, I think 75th Street there.
Okay.
To
So it's
the
a curve
east.
there, it's grass there, so
Yep,
if you drive
no
over,
access.
you're just on your own.
You're on your
It's
own,
not
yeah.
a street.
If you enter from Grand Avenue, you're going to be in trouble if you just keep driving.
All right,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Any questions on Resolution 299-2025? Seeing none, Resolution 299-2025 stands approved. Resolution number 300-2025 by Councilmember Starr, Bishop, and Harrison by departmental request, emergency ordinance declaring the intent to vacate a portion of East 73rd Street.
So, Mr. Chairman, this one's just a little bit further east, again, between Grand Avenue and Opportunity Corridor. This one really doesn't have much of a roadway left, it's mostly overgrown.
Yeah, it makes sense to attach them all together.
Yeah, the street vacations really do make sense, and it'll, allow us to assemble this for the future development.
Gotcha. Any questions regarding Resolution number 300-2025? Seeing none, Resolution number 300-2025 stands approved. All right, last one, Resolution number 301-2025 by Councilmembers McCormack, Bishop, and Harrison by departmental request, an emergency resolution declaring intent to vacate a portion of Hancock Avenue.
Mr. Chairman, so this request is at the request of a developer. It's to vacate just a portion of Hancock Avenue between West 26th Street and sort of like halfway into the block. So Hancock Avenue goes from West 28th Street to West 26th Street. The development is going to be on West 26th Street. So the portion of Hancock that would remain would be from West 28th Street heading east. You should have a map in your tablet that explains this. I apologize if you don't have it.
No, she doesn't have it.
No? Okay.
Just,
Okay.
Director, whenever you're doing these street vacations, please make sure there's a map attached to the executive summary.
Yes, sir.
That goes to the clerk for us. Okay?
Understood, yep. So the purpose of this is for apartment building development, and happy to answer any questions.
Who's the, what's the Apartment, who's the developer?
So the developer is called Places Development LLC, and the principal is Dan Whalen, who did the intro project, but this is a different company with the same principal.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Councilman McCormick?
Mr. Chairman, I support this legislation. The developer has spoken to all the neighbors in the area and are supportive of this. So I support this.
Got it. Thank you, Councilman. Any other questions from the committee? Seeing no further questions, Resolution 301-2025 stands approved. All right, DPS is adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank
Director.
you.